You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The Biggest Loser After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Biggest Loser After Show.
That's my song.
Sing it, Cortez. Are you a singer?
Yes, a little bit. Jalebi.
Oh,
Jalebi.
Nice. Love that song.
Me too.
Welcome, everybody. Season 15. What is this, episode 14?
14, people.
We are one away from the finale.
Yes.
Of The Biggest Loser. I don't think I ever said that.
Live finale.
The live finale next week. For those of you that may be joining us for the first time, my name is Lauren Mendoza. I'm one of your hosts, and joining me.
Yep, it's me. It's Cortez West.
This is a good episode.
It was.
You saw the East Coast feed, I saw the West Coast feed, and you told me ahead, and you were like, this is going to be a really great episode. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Then I'm sitting there watching it by myself crying.
What?
Of course.
So you need that tissue
I always
box
kind of cry all the time, like when I watch the show, but yeah. Always need tissues, and I'm just so glad that nobody's there to see it.
Well, I was crying by myself last week.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So we even.
I'm sorry. Can I just say, before we actually get into this episode, I was dying that I was not here last week to talk about that episode, the makeover epised.
Heck, I was dying by myself.
Like waiting for that episode every season, and that I miss it, and I apologize. But I just was dying to say that I thought my favorite makeover of last week was Tanya. Did you have one? Tanya looked insane.
She looked great.
Insane. I was like,
great.
Whoa,
and she's the only one that walk in the heels.
She's hot.
Yeah, she was hot. Yeah.
She is going to go find herself a man, or the men are going to be finding her. Boom. Either way. Boom. And Jennifer looked amazing. I mean, they all did, as they always do. David, like, obviously I was sobbing when I saw all his girls come to him.
That's the one that got me.
Couldn't even keep it together. Couldn't keep it together.
But did you see Allie? She looked a little different too.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. I saw our YouTube commenters. Thank you guys for all commenting. Everybody kind of agreed that. Oh my God, I'm gonna spill over here. But yes, it's not, the attention's not for Allie. So I just had to give my little input on last week's episode since I wasn't here to share that with you.
I was sad.
But let's jump into tonight's episode. This is the triathlon that they've all been waiting to get to, and all have been wanting and basically striving to get to, because the winner of the triathlon is guaranteed a spot in the finale episode.
Guaranteed. And wins a Ford Fusion Energy.
I know.
That car is awesome in person.
Really?
I mean, in person.
I've never seen it.
And I saw it, and it has some awesome, like, I don't know if you make him get it like fully loaded or whatever the case may be, but it's a great car. Good job for it. That was a good car.
Nice. Well, the triathlon that they are going into, and let's remind you guys. So we have Rachel, David,
Bobby, Jennifer, and Chelsea.
Yes, in this triathlon. And Allie basically meets up with them, gives them the rundown of how it's going to go. They're going to swim a half a mile. They're going to bike 12 miles. And then they're going to finish off with a 3-mile run. Okay.
Now, when the first thing that I saw when I saw the half a mile swim, I was like, oh, Rachel, she's going to get that.
Right.
Rachel's going to be #1. She's going to get that, and boom. Her
strokes.
whole pattern and stroke, she was just like, oh, she's just taking it easy.
It's easy.
She's going back to her swimming days, but David was on her. David was on her, but I thought it was interesting, David's strategy and also Rachel's strategy. I think it was to her benefit that swimming was in the beginning, because it could give her that head start. That benefit, yeah, of course.
Then there was David, who was like, his strategy I thought was so funny, and it didn't obviously work in his favor, but he wanted to jog ahead of her going into the water, so that if he could get in front of her in the water, that she would have to like go around him, and he thought maybe that might slow her down.
But
she was in front of him.
But she beat him
before
to the
she got to the water.
Exactly.
I was like, David, that's kind of a crazy one.
Well, it was a nice thought. Didn't happen.
Didn't work.
No. But you're right. Rachel basically had that from the beginning in the swimming. I was worried for Bobby.
Oh, I thought she was going to say Chelsea.
Well, no. I thought it was interesting because David, once Rachel got ahead of him, David's goal was just to kind of stay with Rachel,
right, of course.
Which would probably be hard because she was a professional swimmer at one point, basically. But then there was Chelsea and Jen, and I think it was Jen whose goal was really just to keep pace with Chelsea.
And to finish. No, yeah. And
well,
to
I mean,
finish.
all of them want to finish.
Yeah,
but
she wanted to stay with Chelsea.
Their strategy, you know, to kind of stay with each other. Right. So I thought that was interesting. Then there was Bobby, who really just needed to get past the swimming.
Just get in the water.
Just move.
I was like,
just
is he gonna? You know how everyone just jumped in? He was just like walking in the water until the water came to his waist, and then he started to swim.
Oh my God. And it wasn't really a swim. Like, that was not what I consider swimming.
No.
Surprise. I'm happy for him that he got across the water and made it.
Yeah.
I mean,
or did he? Or was that editing?
No, he had to. If he didn't finish, that would be even more dramatic, and they would, of course, show that. If he, if he gave up in the water,
he gave up in the water.
No TV show is going to protect someone over getting more ratings.
Okay, all right.
That would have been a very dramatic thing if I was like, "Forget it, I'm out. I can't even get through the water."
Yeah, because he made a big deal of what Jillian was saying to him. He was like, "No regrets."
I loved that.
Yes.
I tweeted it out.
I did too. I said,
did you?
I wrote it down too. I was like, she said, the biggest trick in life is learning how to move through your fear. No regrets.
Well,
that was
I said we got our quotes off because she said, well, I didn't write it down, but she said, fear will pass.
Yeah.
Regret is forever.
It's forever.
That's what stuck out to me. And I was like, oh.
That is so true, though.
That is moving. I was like, oh, Jillian Michaels tweeting that away.
Such a philosopher.
She is.
Yes, she is.
She's my favorite.
Yeah.
Everything she says just kind of amazes me. I just want her there every single day.
But you kind of have to be a philosopher when you're a trainer. When you're pushing someone to change, to become change, shall I say?
Yeah.
You have to be a philosopher of some sort. So.
That's why I love her.
So.
Well, anyways, Bobby, thank God, got across the water. But, I don't know what it's like to have a major fear like Bobby does with the water. Because I was trying to think, I was like, oh my gosh, he's not going to finish. This is really bad. And then I tried to put myself in his position. And it's like, if his fear was as bad as it looked, I am just glad he got across the water.
That's true. I mean,
that's an accomplishment right there. Like, you win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I thought it was interesting that they basically finished in the same order that they jumped into the water. Did you notice that?
Yes, and I kept saying, and I was writing them down. I was just like, Rachel.
Yeah. David.
Chelsea. Oh, Jennifer. Bobby.
Yeah. I'm like,
I didn't even need to finish. I'm just like, Jennifer, Bobby.
In every section, I'm like, okay, swim, that's the order. Whatever, bike, that was the order, run, that was the order, and finish, that was the order. And then, of course, Rachel is sobbing her way through the finish line, and I start crying with her.
Oh, my gosh. She was like, I'm getting me back.
Yeah.
She said something before she ran in, before she got into the finish line. She was just like, I'm getting me back or something like that.
Something about, she's taking back control of her own life.
Yes. That's amazing. Yeah. That was great. We actually saw Dan and Jackie, the mother and son, again.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about them. Yeah.
I did kind of forget about them. I'm sorry.
They look great, too. You all look great. Dan and Jackie, they look great.
They do, and they seem like they are still motivated.
Of course.
Like their experience that they had on the ranch, because was that last season? No,
it was season 5.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Season 5, and we are in 15. Wow, it still feels kind of recent to me, maybe because I think they make appearances. They've made appearances on other seasons.
Right.
But, they're still kind of taking their experience and moving forward. And I think that also speaks volumes of having somebody in your life that's close, that's doing this journey with you, and to kind of motivate each other.
Of course.
I think they have that. And
that's a good team. Mother and son, that's a good team.
That is a good team.
Very good team.
They weren't my favorite, though.
Yeah. No, they weren't. That's why I didn't remember them.
See, I remember them, but I just, in this, I was like,
that's what I was
we don't need to talk about it.
Yeah. So Bobby and Jennifer finished in 2 hours, and Chelsea.
Yeah.
That took them 2 hours to do that.
Hey, Bobby got across the water. Let's not focus on the time. Let us focus on the finish
2
and
hours.
the goal. I mean, come on. It might take me 2 hours. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. I might have to try, but I don't really want to. But I might have to. I don't know. I mean, they've been athletes.
Let's make our own triathlon. No?
Okay, fine.
With me? Okay.
Okay,
let's
when?
go.
When do you want to do this?
We're going to do it. I don't know.
See, I mean, this show is wrapping next week, and there's no way we're going to do this within
So we'll
next week.
start our own Biggest Loser. We'll start our AfterBuzz Biggest Loser.
All right. Make it happen.
Well, it can't be Biggest Loser. It has to be something else.
Why not?
I don't know. Finisher. Finisher of the triathlon. I don't know.
We'll work on that, and we'll see how we get until next season.
Boom.
Yeah, so Rachel wins herself a spot in the finale, which
Yes.
I'm so happy because she's who I want to see there, to be honest. Out of all of them, I mean,
She put in her work. Yeah.
yeah, she put in her work. She's like, she wins every challenge. She's amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
she has earned this. Cortez. Jeez. We are gonna have.
I'm not a Rachel fan, but she's amazing. She does a good job. She wins. She paces. She's mentally she's in the right place. But you know me, I always root for the underdog.
Okay.
Now, because you remember, like my prediction last week was that I felt like Chelsea was going to, surprise us.
Yeah.
And I see that she did not, but still, I always root for the underdog. Okay. I have a new underdog.
Who's that?
We're going to get to that prediction.
Okay. Because how you cannot be a fan of Rachel, I just don't understand.
I'm not a fan. I love Rachel, but I'm just not a fan. I don't blow my win her
Cortez.
way.
Okay. We're moving on. We are moving on. Rachel also wins the Ford Fusion Energy, which is an exciting gift to her.
Yes.
One thing that I did notice at the very end of this challenge before we move on to the next section, David was so happy for Rachel, and he talked about how happy he was for her. That's exactly it. It was very genuine. He wasn't just standing there saying, oh, I'm so happy for Rachel. She really deserved it. He said, more than anybody, she deserves this.
Yeah.
And he really meant it. And one of the things that I noticed of the people that are standing up there, maybe in my opinion, with the exception of Bobby,
Okay.
David, Chelsea, Rachel, and Jennifer, none of them are like dirty players, really. Like, they're not dirty competitors. Like, they compete and they give it their all, but for themselves. They push themselves.
But like you said before, when the last time you were like, well, everyone is a winner.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Automatically, everyone is a winner. So, I mean, like, yeah, you may not win $250,000, but you have a new life because you have a new body. So now you can go out there and do the things that you wanted to do and go from there.
I agree. I just feel like in past seasons, there were some people that made it to the end that it was like, it was very strategic. It was very strategic. As much as they did want to lose the weight and they were starting their lives over, this was still very much a game to them, and they wanted to be the winner in the end. Whether or not they did, I mean, that always kind of varied. But I thought what I loved about these last people, in just today's episode, is that they were all very genuinely competing for themselves and just pushing themselves. Yeah, they want to like stay even with each other and compete in that sense, but they're not really out to just take the other person down or beat the other person.
And now that you said it, I think that I haven't seen that the whole season, like of anyone feeling like this is a competition.
But remember, I think it was like Jay. He had a little bit of a game competitive side.
True. When it came to the actual competition part, like when they actually had to do the challenges, yes.
Yeah, but even in the voting, wasn't it that he like voted? I don't know. I'm already forgetting certain people, but I feel like Bobby may have been that way when they voted people off, and even Jay, like they voted off the people that would be their biggest competition.
I mean, you have to.
All right, fine.
They put them in that predicament. So
I know, you're right.
But I think because we don't see what goes on in the house when the cameras are not rolling. We don't see the relationships that they build and things of that nature. So I really truly think that you really brought up a good point with them. Because now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, wow, they really were. They were like all clapping and all like happy to see and cheering them as they come in.
And they don't even seem bummed that it wasn't them. Like, I didn't beat Rachel. I was in second. It's like, oh my God, Rachel so deserves this.
And then I think sometimes that maybe all of them got in their mind and saying, okay, we already kind of feel like Rachel may win. So let's just in case, let's just go ahead and get that out of my mind that Rachel's going to win. Maybe. And then I'm just going to finish this.
Maybe. I don't know.
So.
Either way, at the very end of that, also Allie then does tell them that in this particular episode, at their weigh-in, there will be a red line and 2 people will go home.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because it means, just 3 go on to the finale. Right. And last year what they did was there were 4 people that went to the finale, and in this final week between this episode and the finale episode, America got to pick.
Yes.
Out of the 2, I guess, lower percentages. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they did it different. I kind of like that.
I wonder if they're going to trick and do something like that. They're probably going to do something different.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. They always can, but I don't think so. They can't trick somebody out of winning next week. Like that's
no. I mean, wrong. Like surprise us on how they're going to vote. Who's going to win? Or
but they're not going to vote. They're not going to vote. There's no voting.
It's the weigh-in.
It's just the weigh-in. Exactly. But I'm saying like last year, that's what they did. They had 4 people. And then the 2 bottom, like lowest percentages of weight loss, America got to vote which of those 2 actually weighed in for the grand prize.
Gotcha.
The one who didn't competed for the at-home. So it's kind of like having tonight's weigh-in
I remember that now
with a vote at the very end. So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. And I kind of like that they went back to the old school style. No America votes.
Yeah.
Because I forget to vote and then I get mad at myself that the person I wanted didn't get to do it.
And at home is 150,000, right?
100,000.
100,000. Oh, I was trying to give y'all extra, but
sorry. You could physically give it to them.
No, it's not coming out of my pocket.
So then let's move on to obviously a very touching moment. They do this every season when the contestants reflect back. They sit in the room, in like a screening room with their trainer.
Did you cry?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you didn't, anybody out there, you clearly don't have a heart. And yes, I cried.
I think my favorite reflection going back was would be David's again. For him, and even looking at his pictures, and it's so funny because Steven even said it. Did you watch the show, Steven?
No.
Well,
he was sitting next to me, and he said, "Oh wow, he lost a lot of weight." But imagine him, Steven, before the beard was gone or anything like that. He just looked great.
He looked really, really good. And
then like looking at his reflection and his pictures and his family, I was like, dude, this guy is doing it.
And his heart.
And he has a reason. Everyone has a reason, but he has one of those reasons. It's just like, wow, he's a man. That's a real man.
Well, it's not just a reason. It's the fact that he has gone through such a horrible, hurtful, painful experience. Yeah. And he has come out of that in a more positive way than people come out of even, smaller troubles in their lives. Yeah. I haven't had an experience like David or anything that I could compare to being that traumatic. And at the same time, I look at him and what he's accomplished. And I've also haven't probably had that big of a success as David is having right now. Right. So to see somebody go through that scale of, pain to accomplishment and coming through that and getting themselves up on days, I know days I don't even want to get out of bed, like that kind of feeling, but like being depressed. Maybe it's just being lazy, but to then be depressed and get yourself out of that and push yourself forward. Right. Like that's an accomplishment.
Chelsea looked like a totally different person.
Yeah. She's
amazing.
I
almost forgot about when she first got there, how she looked. I was like, wow.
Well, even Rachel. I mean, all of them.
Everyone looked totally different, of course. But just to see Chelsea, that was just totally different. Chelsea and David were just like 2 different people.
Yeah.
They look great.
I mean, watching them kind of look back at their story, I feel like we've been reminded of their story throughout this whole season. Right. So me crying wasn't so much looking back at their stories, but it was seeing their reactions to looking back.
Of course.
I don't think we've been seeing it all season long. We've been hearing about David's story all season long. And even though he's talked about it, he hasn't been seeing the replaying of it while he's been on the ranch. At least I don't think so. So,
and then you see yourself every day. Yeah, they see themselves every day, so they don't see a tremendous change like that.
Exactly.
But when you see yourself every day, it's not like it's a big thrill or a big surprise to you. But actually looking at how they edited it on the television,
like just seeing yourself on camera.
Yeah.
Maybe the first time they've really looked back at their old self.
Right.
to see their reactions, that's what got me to tears.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing that I noticed in this section of the episode was, you know, they then cut to their messages to each other or to themselves. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like where Rachel's like, I don't know. I mean, they all kind of said different things, and it was clearly a montage of different messages, and they're saying, remember how difficult this was for you, or remind yourself that it's worth it, or remind yourself that you never want to be that old person again. And to me, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, like what were some of the things? I think Chelsea was saying, remind yourself you have no limits. Or Jen, I think Jen was saying that you have no limits. And I'm looking at herself, like her, and you know, bigger at that time. And I'm thinking, while she's actually saying this, when they taped this, she herself really didn't believe that. And she wanted to believe that. And she is telling herself, if you are where I'm hoping you are, this is what I want you to believe. And this is what I want you to think. And this is what I want you to remember. But they themselves, like, remind yourself that you're an amazing person. It's like, literally at that time that they're saying that, they could not believe that, because if they did, they would have already been on that journey.
Of course. And that's the purpose of Bob, Jillian, and Dovette. Yeah. They really, really pushed them to get there. And even, you know, Dovette told to David, he was like, man, I genuinely am proud of you.
Yeah.
Genuinely proud of you. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Dovette, he's another, they're all very genuine. I didn't know he had a son. Yep.
I didn't know that. I mean, not that old.
No.
No.
I loved all that. So that was just.
Yeah, all right.
Don't be jealous. I'm just kidding. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that, to me, that was like an interesting moment, because I was trying to think of their mentality when they were actually saying that. And I'm like, they actually don't believe that right then and there.
Exactly.
But they are dying to believe that. And I guarantee you, sitting there watching that, they believed it at that point.
It probably like boosted, like, just it, like their whole thing, just confidence just went through the roof. As outer space in the galaxy somewhere. Because it's like, if I were to see my old self telling my new self something like that, that's amazing. Because at that point, it's like looking at someone else on TV. Like, that's not you.
I would probably just be thinking, like, thank God that I'm actually here where I am now. Like, that actually happened. Because I think, you know, we could tell ourselves every day motivating things and be like, you know, if I start today, what I'll be tomorrow. And you can tell yourself that today. And maybe you've told yourself that before and you're not there. And you're like, maybe if I would have listened to myself then, I'd be somewhere else now. And for them, that's actually reality. You know, granted, they were put on a show and being yelled at, and somebody really pushed them to do it. But that's a reality, and that's got to be such a great feeling.
I would like to go through like the book of like everyone from every season who may have not come back and see what they're doing, because once you get to the point where you're motivated and you can change, and you know, you see yourself that you can change, it's like there's nothing you can do. So like I'm wondering like what people
all the past contestants.
Exactly. I'm wondering like what they're actually doing at this point. Like, because at this point you have the most infinity amount of confidence.
But this is the thing, and this is the interesting thing to me anyways, and this is life, right? Okay, I was telling you, I went to the Biggest Loser finale last year. Okay. Or maybe I didn't tell you that. I don't know. Oh, sorry. Well, I did. I went to the Biggest Loser finale last year, and where I was sitting right next to the, I guess, section of the stage that was filled with all past contestants. All these past contestants are invited back to the finale to be in the audience. And it's like a big reunion. They're all like hugging. They're walking up like 5 rows to say hi to their friends. They're, you know, they're just like intermixing. And they sit there. I think their families actually sit somewhere else, but the contestants do sit in a spot together. And it's interesting. And I know we've seen this before on past seasons where they show a past contestant that went back to their, you know, previous weight, or maybe even went further. And they're starting that journey all over again. And so, you know, what you're saying is you leave this ranch and this experience with more confidence than ever, seeing what you can accomplish and hoping that you're just going to take that and run with it and keep going. But, you know, and even life happens.
Yeah, I was going to say, even the people that go back to the weight that they were at, or maybe closer, I mean, at least they know that they can do it again.
Exactly. That is the key.
So, yeah.
you know, because it's hard. Because like imagine, you know, somebody that used to be on The Biggest Loser then goes through something that David went through, then goes through this really traumatic depression of some sort. And to keep yourself motivated through that is obviously very difficult. So I could see how people spiral, but you're right. And I think...
But that has to feel some kind of way when you go back and at the finale and you see everyone else is maintaining their weight.
You probably don't go. I'm not kidding.
That's like almost like a class reunion. Like you don't go.
Yeah. No. So you're right, though. The biggest, I think, lesson that they have and why they're lucky is that at least they know that they've done it and they know what they need to do it again.
Exactly.
It's just taking the first step and going.
Exactly. Baby steps.
Yeah. So that kind of wraps our tangent on that. And in this episode, we got to see our 2 past contestants.
Yes, Tanya. We got to see Tanya, and Tanya looks amazing. As you stated, she does look amazing. She still has a nice little new haircut going on.
She is hot.
She is hot. She's a hot mom.
She is a hot mom.
Hot mama.
Yeah.
She's going to get her man. She's just going to get married next year. My prediction. Tanya's going to get
married.
That's
your prediction. Okay. Tanya's going to have a number of suitors.
Yes, but I'm definitely proud of Tanya because she's come up with her own way of eating healthy for everyone. She's going to come up with a restaurant that's called Living Soul.
She's amazing.
She is amazing. And the food looked great.
Where is she based? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Okay. I want to visit her. I want to go to a restaurant.
I was going to say that.
We'll go eat there after a triathlon.
Right. After Buzz Triathlon, we're going to go and eat at Living Soul by Rachel. So I'm guessing with the money, if she wins the at-home challenge, she will get her restaurant. She will open an actual place. But that food looked amazing.
She looks amazing.
So great job to The Biggest Loser and their, a company and the trainers for giving her that knowledge to push her to go and do that.
Yes. And then there was Marie.
Then there was Marie.
Yeah.
Marie, baby on the way. Baby on the way.
Well, wait a second. You're jumping ahead. There's no baby on the way yet.
I'm saying there's a baby on the way.
Ovulating. That
which means there's a chance. Which means there's a chance that she can have a baby. Yes. So therefore, they're gonna be getting it on.
We should have had a song for this
every night. I know, right? a little Barry White, a little Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
Put that on Marie. You'll get pregnant, girl.
Done.
And she wants to win the at home challenge so she could support her family.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny though, to be like, the success was that she ovulated last month. That is amazing. And but thank God for that. Like she's gonna get what she wants. And I was curious. I'm wondering. I'm not gonna say this is a prediction because I don't think she'll do it. But I was like, what if she gets pregnant by the finale? What if at the finale, I could see that being a surprise.
Her being like 2 or 3 months,
being
or 4
like,
months.
I'm pregnant. But of course,
wait, I'm pregnant.
She probably wouldn't do it like that. That's how I would do it. But
really?
That's what I'm wondering, if she will come pregnant. But
that would be so dope, Marie. If you come out with a tight dress on and showing that you're pregnant. Oh my God. Even do it fake like Beyonce did. Like you could.
She wasn't fake. What?
Like if you would just come out and just be pregnant, that would just make my life.
Even call Queen Bee fake.
Who is that?
That's a whole. Beyonce. Oh my God.
I thought you were talking about the Queen Bee in the hive.
No. Well, anyways. But I don't think she'll do it because that will throw her off of the weight challenge. Like, she won't win. If she's pregnant, she's going to be putting on pounds. But then I thought, well, you know what? Would you rather have the baby or the money? Obviously the baby.
The baby,
so
of course.
Maybe she won't. Maybe she'll throw that at-home challenge away and just be like, I'm getting pregnant. I'm not waiting. And I don't think she should.
Right.
I think she should do that. That would be better than a big weight loss. Like
Marie has become the story that I am looking forward to hear and to see, like on next season, her to come back.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
because you want to know if she has a baby.
Yeah, and I love kids, and
okay.
I want to have kids too. And she feels that she went to the ranch to have kids because she wants to have a family. That's great.
I agree with you.
That's great.
I agree because I was thinking, well, if she's not pregnant at the finale, are we gonna have her find out if she gets pregnant? Because I'm gonna be bummed if we don't.
She's one of the stories that I don't think I'm the only person either. I think there's someone out there that wants to also see Chelsea have that baby. Yeah.
Definitely. Then we get into the weigh-in.
Weigh-in.
Oh my goodness.
Wait on in.
We're just dancing our
I feel bad for Rachel.
I'm
so glad. I know, right? We're just happy, like for real.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
But Rachel, 1 pound.
Thank God that she won the triathlon.
Girl.
And you know what's so funny? They didn't really show much of a reaction after that. She was like, okay, thank you. And she steps
and walked
right
off the
off.
thing. Yes.
And I'm thinking like, oh my God. But then I thought, you know what? She's 150. Like, she's not going to be pulling big numbers regardless. If she pulled 4, like, that would be probably a big number for like that weight in 1 week. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I was like, okay, fine. She doesn't care. I don't care. Whatever. 1 pound. She's safe.
Yeah,
I want to see her
safe.
in the finale. I think she earned it. So I'm just glad she won the triathlon.
Yeah. Chelsea whops up there and loses 7 pounds. That was a great number for her.
That was an amazing number. And her initial reaction, Allie was kind of like, oh, you lost 7 pounds. And she looked at her. She's like, yeah, I know. And she was like, not this big shock. But then she obviously went into saying like what a big success that is for her and how amazing that is. And so I love her. She's somebody I want to see her story later on. Like, I know she didn't have this like
major
crazy past, but well, I mean, I guess she did, but like with her father, right? It wasn't her father was an alcoholic and she had definitely had a hard past, but she's somebody I hope nothing but the best. Like, I just want to see continued success.
Of course.
She seems like she has that mentality
I want all
too.
of them to have a continuous, especially Bobby.
I don't want all of them to have it. I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding.
I was on to walk off.
You're like,
here we go.
Get you water. Throw it
No,
at
so
me.
Jennifer loses
Yes.
3 pounds.
And like, okay, Rachel loses 1, we don't see a reaction. Jennifer loses 3, and it's like everybody's so upset. I was like, wait a second, this doesn't seem fair.
I know, right?
But I think what's unfortunate for her is because, you know, Rachel was already a shoo-in, so we didn't really need to reflect on it that much. Jennifer wasn't that big of a number, but you know what? I loved what she said. She's like, I am not about to be sad. I mean, she's 182. She came onto the ranch at 266.
Huge.
So, I mean, come on. Like, she's not going to be sad.
Yeah. Girl, you
So-
at 182.
So that was great.
You at my weight.
That was great.
So Bobby weighs in. Bobby.
Yes.
Bravo.
He's insane.
Bravo.
He's insane.
Dude, you went home. You
I
got
know.
the opportunity to come back.
Yeah. And he lost 17 pounds.
17 pounds.
In 1 week, there is something going on with this
They're
guy.
not
Like,
eating. He's not eating.
but still, like, even if you're not eating, like, that's not always going to make you lose 17 pounds. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. Bobby's got some like crazy thing going on, and he pulls.
But I really think Jillian
numbers.
like really boosted him. It boosted it? Is that a
Boosts
word?
him?
Boosted it?
I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. He just kind of amazes me. He shocks me every time when he gets
Yes.
up there and he pulls double
He
digits.
has a
and
big
it's
boost from Jillian. So I think
it's crazy.
they're great together.
Yeah.
David, 16 pounds. He had to lose 10 pounds and lost 16. I was flabbergasted.
Yeah, I was too. So when he gets up there, at this point, we already know, who was it? Jennifer was going to go home.
Yeah,
at that
of
point, we
course.
already knew Jennifer was
Yeah.
going home because Bobby took her out of that, basically. When it was between Chelsea and David, I was a little bit bummed because I was kind of hoping that it would be David, Chelsea, and Rachel in the finale. I like Bobby a lot. I really do. But I don't know.
so
There's
you with
something
me.
about... What?
From last week. What?
Oh.
You with me? I was like, I think Chelsea, and I think it's gonna be Chelsea, Rachel.
That's
and,
what I
and Bobby.
wanted. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know that I predicted that or thought that it was going to happen, but that was what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
So I was already a little bit bummed when it comes down to just being between Chelsea and David.
You would have been shocked if Jennifer would have been in there. I know I would have been shocked.
I
would
would
have
have,
been
but
dumbfounded.
honestly, my hopes for the finale were literally the way that they won the triathlon in that order. I wanted
in that
Rachel,
order.
David, Chelsea. And then if it wasn't one of them, I would hope Jennifer would take that, and Bobby was kind of my last hope.
I kind of feel like Bobby kind of gave up this episode. Not necessarily gave up, but I kind of felt like he lost a little bit of confidence.
No,
in
you know what
in
it
himself.
is? You know what it is?
What?
Well, you probably think that because we saw him struggle through the water, and maybe that
Even
gave you
before
that? Okay, never mind. You know what it is? Bobby is monotone. Like, he has like no emotion. I love Bobby. I think he's a great person, and he amazes me at the numbers he pulls in. It's just like, I don't even understand. But I think part of the reason I don't understand is because every time you hear him talk, there's no like fluctuation in his voice. You don't see excitement. You don't see sadness. You
That's
don't
true.
see anything. You just talks, and it's always at the same tone.
And I thought my dad and
and like, I love the guy. I think he's amazing, and I obviously want nothing but the best for him too. But I don't know. I think I would have, maybe because I would have seen the excitement on all the other contestants, that's who I wanted to be there. But either way, he freaking earned his spot. So, and then between Chelsea and David, when it got to that point, I was like, David has to have it. As much as I love Chelsea, like, he needs this. He's earned it. He's pushed himself. He's just amazed me throughout the entire season. So I wanted him to have it, and I was glad he took it.
And David knocks Chelsea under the red line.
So Chelsea and Jen go home, but they have that opportunity to compete at the at-home challenge for $100,000.
I think I heard you say something about this before, but like the last person that goes home before.
Oh yeah, they have like an advantage.
Yeah.
Well, at least you would assume that they do because they've had the most time on the ranch. So that's basically, because some of the people that went home earlier went back to work. So they didn't have 6 hours a day to work out. They didn't have these trainers. They didn't have this food put in their fridge. They're around temptation. They're around friends. They're around family. All these people that might not be eating the way that they are. They might be exercising by themselves. They might not have that team support. So, Jennifer and Chelsea have so much of an advantage. And it's interesting because as much as they deserve it, there's a part of me that always wants to see somebody that went home a while back take it.
That's the point. That's my main point.
Yeah, because it just shows that they did it on their own.
Of course.
So.
And that's well deserved.
It is well deserved.
$100,000.
I'm like drawing a blank. I already know somebody on YouTube's going to comment, and I'm so grateful for it already, even if it hasn't happened.
Right.
But I know last year, who was it? Oh my God, she blew me away. She came out in the red dress, super skinny. Oh, she was so gorgeous, and I think she won the at-home challenge. And I was like, thank God she deserved that at-home challenge. I don't even know how she did it. And she wasn't in the competition for that long. There were many people that went home after she did. Sorry, guys. I'm totally drawing a blank on who it is, but I can see her in her red dress in my head.
I can't think of her name.
And those of you that remember what I'm talking about, you know how I'm feeling. She looked hot, and she deserved it. So we have David, Rachel, and Bobby competing for $250,000 at next week's finale. I guess we can move right into predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Go ahead, Cortez.
He was ready for that. Steven was ready for that.
He's like, hand on the button, hand on the button.
Well, I think that David will win.
Okay.
Because he has great numbers in the weigh-ins. And I think that his body fat percentage is going to be awesome.
You're probably right.
I always root for the underdog.
Damn.
Because we're so expecting for Rachel to win.
Yeah.
We're expecting
Let's see. Oh,
so
God. This is going to be a toss-up.
David is going to take it.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. This is going to be a mixed prediction / probably not going to happen, but I want it. I obviously want to see Rachel finish this. Like, she's won everything. I want to see her keep going. I feel like she wants it the most, and she's chased it the hardest, and she's been the most focused.
Right.
So for that reason, I would love nothing more than to see her finish this off.
Right.
However, you are so right in that David and Bobby they can lose a good amount of weight. They still have a good amount of weight that they can lose.
Right.
So I feel like it will be so much easier for them to pull a bigger percentage at the finale than Rachel.
Right. But I mean, like I said, I know, right? Oh,
Steven, I feel like I'm at the Oscars or like SAGs, and they're wrapping my speech.
I know, right?
Thank you.
Get off.
All right, well, we'll finish it out. So I think it's going to definitely be between David and Bobby because Bobby pulls amazing numbers.
He does too.
But if it's between them two, I want it to be David.
Of course.
So my want is Rachel, David, Bobby. It's either going to be David or Bobby. And we'll just have to wait until next week to find out.
And I want to see what you all think, too. Go to YouTube, go to iTunes, rate, comment. We want to know. We want to see what you all think.
Yeah.
Lauren
see
and
your predictions. Yeah. So you could also tweet at us. You could tweet at me at LO_VALLES or follow me on Instagram at LOVALLES.
Yes. I love you guys. So if you all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Cortez G West.
And while he's walking down the street, follow him. Just go ahead.
Just follow me and just tweet and just say, hey, I'm behind you and I'm going to start running. But anyways, follow me, Cortez G West.
Awesome. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Finale.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.